Okay, this one comes from Cy Toast. Hey, love the channel and would like to create my own YouTube content about game development. Cool. Any advice for someone new to YouTube, and what would you do if you were starting over again? Yeah, I have a lot of advice about YouTube. I could probably talk about YouTube for 4 hours straight. I love it. I love the freedom. There's a lot of freedom in it. One, it's freedom to create stuff, and I'm very much I very much think of myself as a creator, and so it gives you a lot of freedom to make a video about any aspect of this, general focus that I have, which is game development and Godot. And I could make a skit video and upload it, and people may not want to watch it, but some people might, and I could do that. It would be fine. I could do, let's plays eventually about Godot games. Some people would watch it, and that's really cool. Like, you have people that are interested in what you're doing. So it's very addicting in that way, and I do really appreciate that process. The other aspect is you're always sort of problem solving and figuring things out. If you're really interested in growth and developing the channel and getting better, there's always stuff that you can get better at, and that's also kind of a addictive thing for me. So I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. The issue is getting into it, and not necessarily knowing what you're getting into. Things that I would suggest to sort of lessen the initial learning curve. One, get a really good idea about what you want to talk about. Have a focus. And I know you mentioned game development. So if there's a particular, type of game that you're talking about, or just game development in general, maybe it's an engine, or just, it could be anything. It could be tutorials, could be lots of stuff. Have an idea of what that is. And at the beginning, that focus is going to be quite broad, because you're sort of testing the waters a little bit. You're going to take that broad idea of what you're doing, and you're going to try little ideas within that circle. And that might be, making a tutorial video about a specific aspect of game design, or maybe it's making a game in 3 minutes. There are a lot of different ways you could go about it, but you're going to try these different types, and you're going to see what hits. You're going to see what that response is. You're going to see what people are enjoying, given your own unique perspective. Now, you might have something that's really super unique, but you got to get people to click on it. So you can have a really awesome video in your first 5 videos, and it might get 20 views, and it might have 20 views for the better part of the next year. And that's just the way it is. Understand where you're coming from, try stuff out. The first 10 to 20 videos that you're making are going to be very sort of zoning in on what is a good fit for what you're doing, how you're doing it, and what people want to watch. If you find something that is working and you don't hate making it, like you like it, let's say you had a format of a video that you really enjoyed making and people watched it, then you gotta lean into that. You gotta keep making those videos, repeating that process, because it's a momentum thing. The first 10, 20 videos, test stuff out, find something that hits and works, and run with it. Full disclosure, for me, that was the Godot engine. Like, I was doing Unreal stuff and trying some more, scripted things. And for some reason, Godot engine hit, and that's what took off. So that's what we're talking about right now. The main issue you're going to have is, even though you get started, even though you're doing 10, 20, 30 videos, most people are going to quit. And it's because they're not seeing that growth that they are expecting to see. They haven't had a video go, quote unquote, viral. And it's tough to continue to do something and not get the return that you want. If you're going to be serious about it and you want to make a channel and make content and have that be a part of your, you and your life, you need to understand that this YouTube thing is going to be a long process. It is 100% not a sprint. It is a marathon, as it's a marathon on a marathon, and it's going to take time. So if you're okay with that, and you're like, you know what? I can do 2-3 years and I can dedicate some part of my time to this and watch it grow. In 2-3 years, you're going to see growth. Absolutely. Unless you're doing something terribly, terribly wrong, you're going to see growth. Understand that it's a long process. And if you're okay with that and you're like, you know what, in 5 years, if I have so many people watching my videos and maybe I'm making a little bit of money from it and I'm cool with that, you're going to be much better off than someone who is constantly uploading videos and then being really, really upset when they don't make, they don't go viral or they don't get a lot of views. That's a tough way to live. And I've lived it. I've been down that road and have been fishing for views and hunting it down and hunting subscribers. It comes. It'll come when it comes. I really can't stress that enough, really. Don't get caught up in the numbers. Analyze. Understand what they mean, but don't be like, wow, I got 100 subscribers today, because it's going to be like that. If you get to that point, you're going to be checking your phone a lot. It's just part of it. So if it happens, grow out of it and keep focusing on what you're doing. It's very much a keep your head down and keep going kind of a thing. But yeah, if I were to do it over again, I would say that there's a lot of value in, I'm going to say brand, but it really is brand. There's a lot of value in sort of visual consistency. And I still don't have it. And I really want to fix that at some point. But have a visual consistency to what you're doing. I wish that my thumbnails were immediately recognizable very much earlier on than what I'm doing now. It's a little bit better now. I think I really underestimated the amount of information that comes from the visual, just like a thumbnail. And I wish that it was a little bit more consistent. But yeah, I definitely encourage, trying out some YouTube stuff and seeing where it goes and just have fun with it. Because if it's not fun, you're not going to want to do it because it's work. It's work. So have fun with it. Try stuff out. Be consistent in what you're trying to achieve. And I think you're going to have a good time.